Simply submit the answers to those questions that you've saved or saved and marked for review. Let's now see how to review your test results. Over here, you can check your total score as well as the number of correct, incorrect, and unanswered questions. This panel helps you review your test results in detail so that you can see where you went wrong. You can hover your cursor over any topic to get more details. Once you make it to this screen, you've officially taken the first step in your Q&I journey. From here on, our unique adaptive engine will craft a dynamic learning journey that's tailored for you. And pretty soon, you'll begin to see the difference that Q&I makes to your prep. So, what's next? More on that in the next video, where we'll take you through Q&I's insightful and intuitive dashboard.
So my name is Samir. Today I saw the demo of what Q&I is, and it's really an amazing idea. What I think, if it get integrated each student's life, then it would make the life of millions of students. We keep on practicing questions and we watching video lectures, but we don't know that till what level we have prepared. Q&I gives you a dashboard that will tell you consistently that till what level you have prepared, and you have it means your weaknesses, your strength, and everything. So challenge that we face is it's totally new to us. We don't know that kinds of question we are gonna get and what's the level.
The thing which I feel best, the cycle which was told in the seminar, that give test and analyze your weakness and the strength.
I really do think as a student, this will really help for any student to get to know what point they are really lacking on. I'll promote this to my peers and juniors also.
Such a new and unique platform. It is very, what to say, I have no words. First time I have encountered such platform with such qualities that it is pinpointing you where you have to focus.
देखिए, सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम जो है वो ये है कि जो नंबर ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स अपेयर होते हैं, इस बार 20 लाख बच्चे अपेयर हुए थे, और अगर हम देखें कि सीट्स कितनी हैं, सब कुछ मिला भी लेंगे तब भी वो करीबन 75,000 या 80,000 सीट्स होंगी। सो आप ये देखिए कि एक सीट के पीछे कितने बच्चे हैं। अब इसकी वजह से क्या होगा? इसकी वजह से ये होगा कि पहली बात तो जनरली अगर आप किसी एग्जाम में बैठते हैं और आप कहते हैं कि मेरी नॉलेज 80 to 85% है, तो आपके चांसेस बहुत अच्छे से क्लियर करने के उस एग्जाम को बहुत ज्यादा इंक्रीज हो जाते हैं। बट यहाँ पे वो भी नहीं हो रहा। यहाँ पे तो 720 में से 720 आ रहे हैं। सो आपका सब्जेक्ट नॉलेज हाई होने के साथ साथ एक्यूरेसी हाई होना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाता है। सो Q&I प्लेटफॉर्म पे हम क्या करते हैं? हम स्टार्ट ही असेसमेंट से करते हैं। हम बच्चे को रेगुलर प्रैक्टिस की आदत में लाते हैं। जब वो प्रैक्टिस करेगा, इनिशियल हम उसको फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी भी देंगे कि अच्छा, आधे घंटे का टेस्ट है, तुम इस आधे घंटे में 10 क्वेश्चन कर लो, तुम 15 कर लो, तुम्हारी मर्जी है। लेकिन उसके एंड पे एनालिसिस में हम उसको बता
Before I start, a small announcement. This entire event is being live streamed on YouTube. I hope everybody received the link this morning. Please do share it with your friends and family so they can watch you in action. And we're about to begin in a minute. Thank you for your patience. A very good evening. May I please request your kind attention? Once again, before I start, thank you for your patience. And a very good evening to one and all. It is my absolute pleasure to welcome you all to Q&I Today in the city of Faridabad. Q&I Today is a groundbreaking leadership event series that will traverse multiple cities across India, bringing together the brightest minds in education. This unique initiative is designed to foster meaningful dialogue and collaboration around the evolving landscape of education in India. This is not just an event. It is a celebration of ideas, collaboration, and innovation. And Q&I is a revolutionary education initiative by Thomson Digital, India's leading digital publishing solutions provider, founded by the promoters of India Today Group. Q&I is a conceptual breakthrough. It represents a paradigm shift in preparing students for competitive examinations from grades 8 to 12. And we are thrilled to have such a distinguished group of educational leaders, innovators, and decision makers gathered here today. So once again, thank you for joining us. As we embark on this exciting journey, I would like to take a moment to acknowledge the incredible contributions each one of you has made to the field of education. Your dedication, passion, and commitment to nurturing young minds and shaping the future are truly inspiring. So can I please have a huge round of applause for each one of you? And now, it is my pleasure to introduce Mr. Vinay Singh, Executive Director and CEO of Thomson Digital and Q&I. With over 30 years of distinguished experience, Mr. Singh has been a visionary leader in content communication technology, driving Thomson Digital's strategic growth across India, Mauritius, and the US. Under his leadership, the company has emerged as a key player in the global publishing industry. Mr. Singh's deep fascination with emerging technologies has fueled his commitment to driving innovation. His extensive background in scientific, technical, and medical content, along with educational materials from K-12 to higher education, now guide his focus toward advancing the edtech landscape. Leading Q&I, he leverages Thomson Digital's rich legacy to create transformative learning solutions that enhance student experience. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Singh. Thank you for joining us today, sir. Well, without much further ado, we have a packed agenda for today, featuring engaging panel discussions, interactive sessions, and thought-provoking presentations. We hope these sessions will spark new ideas and inspire you to take your initiatives to greater heights. And the first segment for today is our panel discussion. But before we dive into our panel discussion, let me introduce our panel discussion topic: the future of personalized learning, how technology is changing the classrooms. And we have a distinguished panel of speakers for today. May I please invite Dr. Mukta Bakshi, Principal, KR Mangalam World School, to join us, a panelist for today. Thank you for joining us, ma'am. Ms. Dhriti Malhotra, Director, Manav Rachna International School. Ms. Rita Kaul, Advisor to Tagore Public School, Founding Principal of Heritage School. Welcome, ma'am. Dr. Anju Mehrotra, Director Principal of Kalka Group of Institutes. Ms. Pia Sharma, Principal, Ryan International School. Ms. Anita Gupta, Principal, Raman Munjal Vidya Mandir School. Thank you for joining us. This panel will also be joined by a Q&I team member, Ms. Neha Aghi. Ms. Neha is the Head of Foundation and Learning Design at Q&I. She's a seasoned educational leader with over a decade of experience guiding IIT, JEE, and NEET aspirants. A prolific author of academic books, she has pioneered innovative experiential education methods and AI-driven learning, making education more engaging and accessible for all. Driven by a passion for social impact, Neha strives to break down educational barriers, empowering students from diverse backgrounds to reach their full potential. Once again, thank you for joining us, to each one of you. And I will be a moderator for today. We'll ensure you don't go. Once again, a very good evening and welcome to today's exciting panel discussion. The topic is Future of Personalized Learning, How Technology is Changing the Classroom. And we are thrilled to have such an esteemed panel of speakers with us today. We look forward to hearing your thoughts, insights, and your perspectives. Today's discussion will explore how technology, especially data-driven tools, is reshaping education to be more adaptive, impactful, and engaging. We'll delve into key topics to gain insights into the future of personalized learning and its transformative effects on children, students, teachers, and educational institutions. Now, our goal is to understand how these advancements can address diverse learning needs and elevate teaching strategies. The agenda for today is we'll have a question for each of the panelists and we'll discuss how the future of personalized learning looks like for the next 10 to 15 years. What are the current school efforts that each of you have driven to ensure that there is personalized learning, successful strategies, and the role of data-driven technology. I will request each panelist to share their thoughts, and post that, we'll open the forum for discussion for the audience. So I look forward to moderating the debate and listening to your thoughts. Well, let's dive into it. My very first question is to Dr. Mukta. Oh, ma'am is here, yes. Dr. Mukta, the question is, how do you envision personalized learning complementing and strengthening teaching methods over the next 5 to 10 years? If you could also add, why do you think personalized learning is important and how it will impact us?
Thank you, Shreya. And good afternoon, everyone. What a wonderful afternoon. And a wonderful topic to be discussed and taken forward as personalized learning, I believe, is the game of the hour. When we talk about personalized learning, we are looking at the individual capacity, potential, and need of every student around us. And like we say that we shouldn't be hanging all of them from the same cloth line, it is important for us to understand that there has to be a mechanism or a tool that allows educators to identify the capacities and potentials or the starting points of individual students, support in identifying the strategies that will be required to support those needs, the requirements, and enhance those potentials, leading to personalized progress and successful outcomes. So when we talk of that journey, I think in the next 5 to 10 years, the personalized learning is going to be the name of the game. Because our students are no longer being enhanced or prepared to deal with an examination pattern or an assessment pattern that is going to be the same tool for all. We are looking at individual and personalized progress of students, and when we talk of that outcome, we've also got to understand that the teaching methodologies have to be personalized, and in order to make those personalized methodologies doable and adaptable in the classroom, we must have tools that will be able to do that. So when we talk about data-driven learning for students, we are talking about tools that will be allowing the teachers and the children to be able to identify the learning gaps, help them with strategies that will fill those gaps, and then they'll be able to deliver outcomes that are age appropriate and need appropriate depending on the curriculum and the benchmarks of the schools that have been established. Having said that, in the next 5 to 10 years, personalized learning will not do away with teachers. That's very, very important. The role of the teacher stays. However, it becomes a guide and a mentor or a facilitator in the classrooms rather than being the lecture method that we are generally used to. So the teacher's role still stays. It becomes even more crucial and more critical because at this point the teacher is trying to balance and juggle between making sure that every single child in the classroom is learning at his or her own pace, given the diverse tools and the diverse needs of the classroom that will be there. So the role of the teacher is critical, the role of the tools is critical. Next 5 to 10 years, the schools have to adapt to it, and that's where the role of teacher training becomes very, very important. Because we can provide them with all the resources, and money can buy all of that, but what happens if you don't know how to use those resources? It's just dead investment. So investing in teacher training is very, very crucial. So I think I would open it up to everybody who is sitting in the audience here that very conscious planning on teacher training must be given. Very often, with my own experience, if I would like to share, I've heard management say that we are not running a teacher training institute. We have hired someone, they are trained, they are qualified, and they must do the job in the classrooms. What we need to understand is that education is evolving and it is growing at a very, very fast pace. And it is important for us to partner with our teachers and make sure that we are equipping them with the right tools, the right skills, and the right mindset to be able to deliver such kind of personalized learning tools in the classrooms. Because once we do that, once we invest in our teachers with time and money and efforts, I'm very, very sure that the student outcomes is going to be so much more impressive and impactful that every individual will turn out to be a champion in his or her own self. So I think that's where the vision of personalized learning should go in the next 5 to 10 years. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Rightfully so, ma'am. Personalized learning is no longer a trend. It's the necessity of our classrooms. And with the right kind of training and the right resources, it would enhance the role of a teacher and not take away anything. Moving on to the next question. Dhriti ma'am, if I may ask you, what efforts are schools currently making to implement personalized learning, and how these efforts can be more widely embraced? So we've heard from ma'am why personalized learning is important and how it is shaping the future. If we could get some on-ground implementations, activities, or strategies from you. Over to you, ma'am.
Hi, and good evening to everyone. We understand the need for personalized learning. Why? Because you have a very diverse class, right? With children of all levels, of all needs. So if we get into personalized, I mean, your personalized learning is not one-to-one. I believe so. But yes, if my teacher or if I as a teacher am able to cater to my entire class, keeping in mind what they're good at, what are their skill set that some are very good at, what do they need, I think I would make a better classroom, right? Just a small example. There is a lesson to be taught, right? The teacher takes over. She, as a class teacher, is available, is aware of the skill set or the levels that different children are. So that lesson could be very beautifully done by giving a kind of a research work for children who have a sharper mind. Maybe all those who have an inclination for art could be given something which is related to art. Somebody could be given something to build, maybe, who are good at that skill. So I believe this kind of learning has made, because I think most of us are doing that, and as rightly pointed out by Dr. Mukta, it is the need of the hour. I mean, gone are those days, at least our days. I remember where it was just coming to the class, the teacher coming to the class and opening the book and reading page number so-and-so, and I was very bad at math, and whenever I would raise my hand, she would say, Dhriti, put your hand down. Gone are those days. Gone are those days. So we at, Manav Rachna, we have a very beautiful system where we let our teachers know their students in the first few days or month, right? When you as a teacher, as an educator, are at a level where is there where you get to know every child, I think that itself is personal learning, because you would know how to handle that particular child, right? So and then there are many things that we've introduced, SWOT, our strengths and our weaknesses and our opportunities so these are little things. We make them write their anecdotals. Let every child write what the child is going to achieve by the end of a certain time. So they are also in a way responsible for their learning. So these are little things that go a long way, but I feel they have made a lot of difference to what actually education is, what actually learning is, right? Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts, ma'am, and very, very insightful. The true power of educational technology lies in not just in innovation, but actually bringing out the true potential of every student. And if school leaders like you all are able to do that, I think we are in a great world altogether. So, which brings me to my next question, and if I may extend it to Rita ma'am. If you could share examples of successful personalized learning strategies that you've implemented at your school, and what support would you or do you need to make these strategies successful? So, ma'am, over to you.
Thank you, Shreya. I think Mukta and Riti have already touched on the entire aspect of personalized learning. I would like to add one different dimension to it, which is how I started my career as a special educator in Spastic Society of India. The challenge way back in 1989 and 90 when I was there was, even if you had 18 students in a class, they were individually different. And as a teacher, how do you deal with them? One, not only for one subject, you have to deal with them for all the subjects all the time. So thank God that I was trained there and learned how to do that. So there was something called IEP, which today everybody knows, Individual Education Plan. But at that time, it was such a challenge. You talk about it and people would say, God, you cannot do that. You cannot do that in a class of 18 and 20 children. You can't have an IEP for each and every student, right? And today, sitting on this dais, we are saying, this is what is the need of the hour. You know why? We learnt it during COVID time. COVID taught us a lot. It taught us, and that was a challenge, and I always say COVID time was the most challenging time for doctors and teachers. Yes? Yes. All of you educators, you'll agree with that. But having worked there for 3 years, I experienced that, one, that most of the parents were worried, you know, they were in secluded corners, what will happen to my child? And I was worried that when parents are gone, what will happen to these children because they are not adjusted into the mainstream? And how would mainstream people react to them because they are also not exposed to them, right? So that is when I spoke to my husband and he said, if you want to change something, join the system. Don't criticize it from outside. And I started setting up schools, and God helped me in setting up schools which were mainstream school but inclusive schools. And I set up inclusive schools across India, trained my teachers, parents were so happy, children were so happy, and you know, all of us found a purpose in whatever we were doing, and the respect we saw in the eyes of the parents, whether they had normal children or they had children with disability. You know, the pride they had, and the teachers, the pride they had. That IEP turned into personalized learning for all my classrooms. But yes, technology had a great role in it. Because when we say in a class, just now I heard, you have all kinds of children. When you draw a normal probability curve, there are children from both the ends that you deal with them, right? Now, what do you do with the 2 to 3% on your left and 2 to 3% with your right? Shreya was my student in Millennium with 10 CGP in 10th, and I asked her, why do you want to go for humanities? She said, ma'am, you've done psychology, I want to do psychology. But why? There is something challenging a student finds and wants to prove, but only if you've given that exposure to the students that yes, you believe in yourself, but you know, and that was because we had more than 20 to 40 strategies in each classroom, whether you were teaching physics, chemistry, biology, or Hindi, or English, or whatever. But for that, teachers had to be trained. And I agree with you, Mukta, when you say that there are a number of managements who say, B.Ed to karke aaye hain, fir qualified to liya hai, why do you want to train, why do you want to invest in that? That is, and I think now, you know, B.Ed and NTT and all, they should go, I'm saying it openly, they should go down the drain. Absolutely. That's not something which helps you. That's not what makes you a teacher. Thank you. Thank you. So, when we had this, the teachers were trained to identify each child. Thank you. I told them, yes, I'm a psychologist, but you got to learn from me. So we identified children not on their strengths and weaknesses, but who was a visual child, who was an auditory child, who was a kinesthetic child, because all of us have 5 senses. Taste or smell to hum nahi use karte padhne ke samay, but baki तीनों stimuli, we do use all those 3. Ab koi bacha class mein, they're getting up and moving around and say, naughty child, just sit down. And when they came for admission, you said, the child is bubbly, he's energetic, and you know, he's so intelligent and brilliant, yeah? And once he came in, you said, zip your lip and sit down. And education finished that very day. Because we never learnt in B.Ed how to have personalized learning system, right? So it's this up to the school and to the management, as my friend said, that we take ownership of that and empower our staff, give them to feel the pride that beyond B.Ed there's a lot of things which a teacher can do. So first of all, we did, as you said, what you did, and you were also there, you know, we did a WAC test. Most of you must have heard about it. WAC test, when parents did not know about it, they came for admission, they said, let me first find out your style of learning, right? We did it with teachers to find out their learning styles. And even at 50 or 45, the parents said, oh God, I didn't know I was a visual learner. I didn't know I was a kinesthetic learner. Now, in your class of 25 or 30, when you draw a normal probability curve, you know that children are not only because of their efficiency or their skills or their potential, they're also different style of learning. So then, teachers were trained to make lesson plans which would cater to all three types of learning style, right? So you made sure, because Neha just said that she's an Aurobindo follower, and I told her, Aurobindo said, no one can teach, but everyone can learn. So when we know that everyone can learn, how can a teacher fail not to make an effective lesson plan to reach out to each child, right? We have to. Otherwise, I fail as a teacher, right? So they did WAC tests, they made lesson plans of that kind, and taking help of the technology, since all Millennium schools came from an IT background corporate, we had the access to this kind of software where we could also have our assignments. You know, you have item of difficulty. जब हम question paper देते हैं, some people say it was out of syllabus. How can anything be out of syllabus if you have attacked the concept? है ना? अगर मैंने noun किया तो मुझे noun के बारे में पता होना चाहिए. How can it be out of syllabus? But the thing is, while teaching, has the lesson plan gone around it? So we helped the children, and when I said normal probability curve, there are 2 to 3% this side, 2 to 3% that side. Our lesson plans had it. So when you are teaching, there are 3 components to it. You are informing the students something, they apply it, and that becomes knowledge. And then knowledge, you give them some kind of experience that leads to skill, and then retention happens, and if retention happens, recall will happen. तो एग्जाम के लिए बच्चों को पढ़ना नहीं पड़ता है, हमारे स्कूलों में कोई स्ट्रेस नहीं होता और उनके लिए कुछ भी आउट ऑफ सिलेबस नहीं होता, राइट? एंड यू डोंट नीड मंडे टेस्ट्स, यू डोंट नीड यूनिट टेस्ट्स. बेचारे पेरेंट्स भी घिस रहे हैं, बच्चे भी घिस रहे हैं, टीचर भी घिस रहे हैं. You don't need that. But technology, yes, has a very, very important role in that. So, the other 2 things which the teachers were taught, that there are challenging children, they are brilliant children too. The brilliant children need challenging assignments. The average children are there, but the children who are not performing are a challenge to you, right? Now, for a teacher, it is a stressful thing to make an assignment. आइटम ऑफ डिफिकल्टी से आप एक ही चीज़ को 3 लेवल या 4 लेवल में बनाते हो, कैसे बनाते हो? सो वी हैड मॉड्यूल्स फॉर ईच कॉन्सेप्ट विच इज ABC, फॉर एवरेज चाइल्ड, फॉर अ बिलो एवरेज चाइल्ड, एंड फॉर द चैलेंज दोज हु हैड डन चैंपियंस. Concept was same, but item of difficulty for the assignments and for assessment was different. हम टेस्ट नहीं बोलते थे, जब असेस कर रहे हैं आप हर एक के लेवल से कर रहे हैं. So when you are finding out whether concept clarity has happened, your assessment has very clear question paper जिसको आप बोलते हो, ठीक है? But teacher gets to know, yes, this child has also got it, the average has also got it, and the challenging one has got it better, right? The challenging child also feels frustrated in the class when you don't cater to his needs. And the child you're not reaching out is also frustrated. Because now, another thing, I'm not going to take much of time, because if you want to talk about it, I think it'll take more than 10 years for me to, because 42 years of experience cannot be, you know, summed up in 10 minutes. Sorry, Shreya. I'll take one more thing with you people, because I said that I made inclusive schools. So there was an autistic child sitting in the class. There was a schizophrenic sitting in the class. Forget about schizophrenic and autistic. The world population 5 to 7% in normal society, maybe in our own families we don't, identify, are having dyslexia. There are dysgraphia, there is dyscalculia, and we feel they're not performing. ये failures है, number नहीं लाए. नहीं जी, number वो लाएंगे क्योंकि आप उनको ठीक से पढ़ा नहीं रहे. So way back in APJ in Faridabad, I started using tape recorders. तब CCE भी नहीं हुआ था when they said verbal and non-verbal, And my management fought with me, how can you test a child on tape recorder? I said, उसका concept right है ना? Maths के लिए scribe दे देते हैं. And then Mr. Ganguly also, he was heading CBSE, he agreed to giving the scribe at that time because we argued about it. And then one fine morning came Tare Zami पे, और उन्हीं principal की बेटी टिस्का उसमें थी. And Mr. Arora calls me and says, Rita, did you see the movie? I said, what happened, sir? His टिस्का is there, you see the child. I said, sir, उसको dyslexia है, आपको समझ आई? और आपको समझ आई आमिर खान क्या कर रहा था? So every learning is possible if you train people and if they're aware. That's why I said B.Ed की ज़रूरत नहीं है, NTT की ज़रूरत नहीं है, passion की ज़रूरत है सीखने के लिए और ये planning करने के लिए. And it is not stressful because this 21st century skill हम बोलते हैं, technology integration बोलते हैं, 24 साल निकल गए. Yet we are not integrating technology into it. AI has come in. COVID के समय, who were the most successful children and children who were enjoying their education were children with disability. Autistic child he has a lovely time with machine. और इतनी तरीके के उनको style, उनको इतने सारे modules मिले, they were more than happy. Whereas our average children, we are still having the ripple effect of that. Children lost a lot. 60% of education was lost during COVID, and we are facing the ripple effect even now, right? Had those children, and now in Millennium we had the schools that I was heading as director of 16 schools. It just took us 3 months. Imagine I had 780 teachers. Each teacher, the summer vacation, if you remember, April ke baad hi summer vacation aa gaya tha. Each teacher was given to plan 10 lessons. So can you imagine 7,200 lesson plans were done based on our module, shared with all the schools. And as soon as the schools opened in July, the teachers were so thrilled कि अब lesson planning नहीं करनी है, we have to implement it. So their lesson plans, their assignments, their assessments, everything was incorporated into it. And the most important thing that I would like to mention is हमारे बच्चे engage इसलिए नहीं होते हैं because we don't give them right kind of feedback. We don't engage them in the feedback. If I give 60 out of 100 or 65 or 70, I'm just telling the child how much successful the child has been. 30% उसको नहीं आता या 100 मिला तो उसको पूरा आता है, ठीक है? But क्या नहीं आता है? That is the feedback. But these modules, they actually specified if you are getting 70, she's also getting 70, but where is she lacking and where is that child lacking? And that was a feedback which was eye-opener to the teacher as well as to the child because they worked on it. And our schools, believe me, did not feel that children after COVID were lacking in any aspect. As I said, I can go on talking about it for a lifelong if I have 10 years more to go. But thank you, Shreya, for giving us the platform to share our experiences.
Thank you so much. Your examples really underscore how important personalized learning is. And, there's a thought. In a world where we can customize anything and everything from music playlists to shopping experiences, why should education be left behind? Right, thank you. Absolutely, yes, that's right. So taking some pieces from your conversation, Rita ma'am, we've understood how eye-opening technology-driven initiatives can be for personalized learning. So, Dr. Anju, if I may pose the next question to you. How do you think data-driven technology addresses the diverse learning needs of students in the educational landscape for today, and how can we employ it in our classrooms? The question's yours, ma'am. Thank you.
Well, I think we have been talking about technology, right? And that too, personalized learning, and what has already been mentioned, by our co-panelists, and that too, in a very explicit way. I would just like to endorse that what they have already said. We all have been coming, from a diverse background. Our classrooms are diverse, and education should also be given a dimension of personalized learning. That's what we all believe now. And since we are talking about the 21st century skills, and most of these learners are going to be there in the 22nd century also. So we really need to think about it, that these skills are not just the 21st century skills, but they need to be the future skills. So we need to really now know whether our learners are future ready or not. And top of it, our expectations, whatever conversations we are having now, our focus is generally on the learners, the students. Here, of course, as what has been mentioned, that we need to train our teachers. But I feel that our focus should actually be on the teachers also, because they are coming from the 20th century, now in the 21st century, right? And they have to sustain themselves, taking care of all the challenges in the classrooms. Because the children, they are exposed to so many things, and, they know perhaps, much more than their teachers, right? So, rightly said, and I was just discussing with Neha also, and as what has been said by Rita ji, that, nothing as such, can be taught, but learning can happen anywhere, anytime. And this is where the role of the teachers, through the personalized learning and through the data-driven, the concepts which are available, there the teachers have to really now come forward, take that challenge, prepare themselves, right, to face the challenge, which is there in the classrooms. When it comes to the content, when it comes to the curriculum, when it comes to something, related to their syllabus, right, which is already now available on every platform. So what is left for the teacher? Teacher has to serve something which is different, in the platter, which is not available on any of the social media, which is not available either on the internet, right, or even on the data, which is available. You may ask a question to AI, it's going to give you and sort out all your queries. So where is the teacher? So the classroom which is having a teacher, the basic challenge with the teacher is this only, how to prepare, ourselves so that we are able to face the children. So you need to serve something very different, something, which is not there in their platter. So this platter, you have to create this platter now. So the teachers, they have to find out, right? It is not that earlier, we never used to say that the basic purpose of education is to hone our skills only, is to identify what is there within us, that potential. So it is very much within the children, within the learners. The teachers are still doing that task. So what is different now? Nothing is changed as such. Only thing is the social media is available. Only thing is the kind of platform which is available, where everything is being exposed to the learners, exposed to the children, even before their teachers discuss those points or those things with them. So the teachers, first they need to prepare themselves, one. Two, the data driven concepts, which are available. The robots would do everything, right? The AI would do everything for you, right? And the kind of, the tools which are available now, they would do the task. So the role, now the challenge lies on the teachers. First, they would be preparing themselves, right, for these skills. And second, which is most important, is to, of course, the training would be a part of it. Second, what I believe is that the personal touch in the personalized data, in the personalized learning related to EQ, HQ, and SQ should not be missed out. We should not forget that IQ is very much available. AI is going to take care of that, right? And where is our HQ? Where is our happiness quotient? Are our learners really happy? Their emotional and social quotient, has that been taken care of? What about their social and emotional intelligence? This is where the role of the teacher comes in. Everything would be served to them in their platter, but the eye contact, but the learner and the teacher relationship, that pupil-teacher relationship, where the teacher would be emotionally and socially connected with the learner, where is that? So the personalized driven data, of course, will be used. That is very much there. We are in the world of technology. We have to unlearn certain things and relearn many things, because we are in this world. To keep pace with that, to cope up, with the existing scenario, and to collaborate and cooperate, and of course, the kind of futuristic skills. We, the teachers, we, the learners, the educators would be coming forward. But then we should not forget that the emotional quotient is very important. The happiness quotient is very important. And something what is called as the spiritual quotient is very, very important. So these HQs, EQs, and SQs have to be taken care, not just by the teachers, but by the learners as well. So this is where the role of the teachers are going to come into, say, existence, and the teacher would be performing to have a connect, whether it is AI, personalized, of course, data-driven. Robots will be doing the task. Robot will be, serving the food to you in the restaurant. But if, if somebody comes personally and, bows in front of you and asks for, your preference for the meal, I think there's nothing like that. So the kind of gratitude what we have to show, towards having a personal touch with that cannot be compensated, that cannot be compromised anywhere else. So I believe that the personal touch is very important. Personalized learning will take care, that will be taken care of. We all know, because we are existing in this world, and to keep ourselves, of course, at par with the existing world, with the contemporary world, in the existing scenario, we all are taking in the efforts. So that has to be really taken care of. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing those thoughts, ma'am. Here's an interesting thing that I recently came across. It said that technology allows us to scale empathy. And how and why it does that is because it allows us to personalize lessons for students, truly allowing students to, bring out their full potential. But what it also does is it allows teachers to create impactful lessons, get the kind of tools that they need to truly be free to do what they do best, teach and inspire. So taking the thoughts from you, ma'am, thank you so much for sharing. If I may just extend the same question to Ms. Neha. Technology and education happens to be at the heart of what we do. And if I could ask you the same question on how data-driven technology can address the diverse learning needs, and your thoughts, please. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. So data-driven technology, how? Before getting into how, let me just touch upon why. So we are teachers. We have the DNA to understand diversity. And to understand diversity, we build our intuition based on information. So as head of the institution, all of you in your weekly meetings or daily meetings, what that child is doing, you get information from art teacher, from math teacher, from science teacher on behavioral aspects of a child. So we have so many eyes looking at the behavior of the child. We get ample of information. We develop intuition based on that. And we definitely work on that. But what about subjects? For math, I have only one eye. whatever my teacher is telling me, I have that limited information. For science, I have 1 eye, maybe 3, physics, chemistry, biology. For different subjects, I have limited on information, but for behavior, I have ample of information. And that's where technology comes in, because one person is having one skill which is very dominant. So for example, as ma'am said, if I'm a visual learner, I'll teach a student with visual needs better. What about a learner who understands pattern, who wants to grow with pattern, who wants to grow with procedure, who want to grow with strategic competence? Me as a teacher will not be sufficient for that child. So to get the information, we need the data, we need to understand the student. And on an average, in one academic year, a child is exposed to around 2,000 learning targets. If you may list down, the theories says 2,000 learning targets in one subject. So if there are 5 major subjects, 10,000 learning targets. Is it humanly possible to get information on 10,000 learning targets through eyes? It's difficult, and that's where technology comes into picture. So as Rita ma'am was saying, like, we tag questions on certain knowledge points. Knowledge leads to mindset, mindset leads to skills. So knowledge is what the learning targets are, knowledge plus skills. And learning outcomes, when granularly defined into knowledge points, those are relevant for students. Those are the basic atomic learning targets. So for example, if we are talking about representation of rational number on number line, representation comes with prior action verbs. You have to locate, you have to do n number of things before you reach to representation. So granularity is extremely important, and that extent of granularity comes with the technology. And that is where we will get information, we will get data, and data-driven technology will lead to personalization. Because we have less eyes on subjects, we have more eyes on behavior, we have more eyes on whatever is visible. So bringing in artificial intelligence and adaptive learning is something will help.
Rightfully, without data, how do you measure everything? Thank you. Of course, yes, please.
I think that's so wonderfully, summarized and explained to us. But one thing I would like to add to that is that when we talk about data, and it's, I think, been a common observation, we are only looking at student learning outcomes as data information. But there is so much more data that is available. It could be attendance, it could be the demographics, it could be something in terms of, a broader frame. So data doesn't just only sustain to the marks or the results or the achievement of a child on a particular content or academics. For us to be enabled to personalize learning for the child, it is important that we need to look at data as a whole, because we are looking at the child as a whole. Possibly there is some challenge with the attendance of the child, which is leading to a poor performance in classroom. Attendance could be a result of a challenge the child is facing at home. It could be that personal. So if we are really talking about personalized data and personalized learning through data-driven technology, we must look at it in that depth. We must understand that the data that comes to us for a particular child, right from the time the child has taken admission into the school, to the time the child is giving a learning outcome, everything is data for us. And if we are able to use, like, I generally refer to as the KYC, know your child. So the KYC is very, very important. If you know the child, you know your child to that extent, what he likes, what he doesn't like. There are schools that are offering meals. Do we have enough data to tell us what are the days when the child has skipped a meal in school? What was the reason? What was disturbing the child? Is there something that we could refer to? Maybe the child needs some information or learning about nutritional diet in order to feel the importance of a healthy meal. That is learning. So when we look at personalized learning, we've got to think of KYC. And if we get our KYC right, we can't get personalized learning wrong. So thank you. I'm just putting it together because I thought this was something that was worth a mention. Thank you. Thank
So
you.
I would like to add to it. As you mentioned, we have to see the data, and that's where the exact role of teachers comes into picture. No, not teacher training, but we have to analyze the data empathetically. That's our role as a teacher, but we end up just gathering data. We spend the entire time gathering data, which machine can do quickly. Exactly, we are here to interpret empathetically.
Thank you, some very interesting thoughts, and thank you for sharing them. Which brings me to another thought. We've established how important personalized learning is, the role data plays in helping us deliver personalized learning and different data points, and the role of teachers. If I put everything together, may I bring my next question to Pia ma'am? Hello ma'am. Ma'am, how can education technology reduce the load of students and teachers? We've been talking a lot about mental health, emotional well-being of our students, and how can we leverage technology to actually reduce stress levels and make it very healthy for both our teachers and our students? Your question, ma'am.
Thank you so much, and a very good evening to all of you here. Okay, Neha, we've been hearing about how technology is, a revolution around, and it's still there, and we're still progressing there. So definitely, I think technology is, helping to reduce the stress among our students, our learners, as well as our teachers. What does educational technology mean? It's integration of technology in our teaching and learning process to give a better environment of learning to our students. That's what exactly it is. So how can something which is so beautiful be stressful for any one of us to learn? I would say that. And to add to that, I would definitely say, okay, there are two main concepts when we talk of educational technology. One is our educational tools, which each one of us are using it very judiciously in our schools. To start with, we have multimedia learning happening around, and I think all of you would agree. Our complex concepts, our demonstration processes, digestive systems, beautifully could be shown through simulations and videos to our students. It helps in clarity of concept. When we were young, we didn't have that. So we all had a weird imagination. This is how the digestive system works. And we had our own idea behind it. We would read, reread, our teacher would explain, but we wouldn't understand. But the beauty is there. We exactly know how it works now, And of course, it captures the interest of the students. It reduces the amount of cognitive effect that a child has to put in, to understand and retain information. It's exciting to watch a video. Now, we spoke about the three important, senses that are required for a child. Each child has a different kind of understanding. Some like to listen and learn, some like to watch and learn, and some like to read, write and learn. That's where multimedia comes in. Listening to podcasts, watching something. So every child has his way of learning, and when we are, as educators, are using that, we see the joy of learning in our students' eyes, and that's where it becomes very stressed then. It's all away. All right, let's go to another aspect, online resources. In our times, whenever I had to, do some research in my master's, it was very stressful. I had to I'm from Hindu, so, I had this huge library. I had to go looking for books. I had to ensure I get the right book, before my classmate gets it and does his work. I had to go to the university library. Superbly stressful. But today, everything is there at a click of a mouse there for the educator as well as for the learner students there. All right, let's go to the third aspect that we have here, a virtual learning environment, a beautiful environment created there. I want to go for digital tutoring. I can do that. I have not understood a concept well in the classroom. Really don't have to worry. I can just go online, or I can go to my own school Edison packs that are there, go through it, understand. I can even do collaboration with other students around, my own classmates and from other schools as well, work on projects there. So it's so beautiful there. We are reaching out to each other. We are, meeting the 21st century skills for our students there. They know how to analyze data. They they know how to collaborate and work together. And that's why we are seeing so many startups happening all over. All right, let's go to the second aspect, that is our pedagogical strategies. Very important again. We spoke about personalized learning. What better than adaptive learning that we have there? In adaptive learning, we have softwares coming up according to the needs of the child, the understanding of the child, the questions are thrown. The child doesn't feel, he feels challenged but not overwhelmed, I would say that. And the level of understanding and difficulty keeps increasing, and the teacher also can gauge where the student stands and help him out also there. Blended learning, we all are doing that. Offline, online mode, right? Helping the students there. So I think gamification, how can I forget that? Increasing participation of students to participate. It's okay, it's fun game. I'm not competing with anyone. I get a badge, I have a leaderboard there. It's an interesting way of learning. Where is the stress? Tell me that. There's no stress, nobody is judging you there. And for teachers, I would say it's a blessing to seeing the students enjoy. Apart from that, we also have teachers' efficiency increasing. How? We spoke about AI assessments happening. Teachers have it there in front of them. We speak about automated grading systems happening. Teachers don't have to do much, just enter and the grades are there. Lesson plans coming up there. So I think I cannot ever say that educational technology is stressful in any way to the learner and the teacher. And as we say, every cloud has a silver lining. COVID did give us that. COVID did give us that. Thank you so much.
Shreya, if I may add to this, it only gets stressful if you don't upgrade yourself.
Well, thank you so much for sharing. Ma'am has flipped the debate. She says technology, the way it is designed, actually reduces stress by its own nature. It's not adding on to the workload. And that's what we've been discussing. So I think technology is the pen and paper of today's time, right? Without it, without upgrading ourselves, I think we'll be left far behind. Thank you. Yes, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts, ma'am. And before I move on to the last question, I have a small request from the audience. Can you all please put your phones on silent? I want to thank you all for making the time to be with us here today. And I'm going to make a request. Please put your phones on silent. Thank you so much. Which brings me, and we've had an amazing discussion and debate around technology, personalized learning, data-driven approach. There's one stakeholder that we should bring to the table, and that is parents. So, Anita ma'am, if I may have the liberty to ask you the next question. How can educators and parents collaborate to support personalized learning and technology-enabled learning, both at home and in the schools? Please shed some light. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shreya, and good evening to each one of you. Yes, I was just listening, and it's wonderful things going on. I was just wondering, every aspect that is like, the triangle is never complete when the parents are not involved. So we have been talking about educators and of course the technology and the teachers and the students, learners means, and the parents. So there are, like, if I split it, personalized learning, parents and teachers and students is the triangle, and then comes school and home. So, means everything is being interconnected. So we talk about, when we talk about learning, it is collaborative. It cannot be in absentia, it cannot be in isolation. It has to be integrated. And that is what even we see in NEP and NCF also been mentioned everywhere. So when we are talking of personal learning and the role of educators and the parents is very important. Because learning starts at home. And if we take back, see our myths and all, like learning starts in the womb of the mother. So we all being Indians, we are so much aware of this, like how Abhimanyu learned, right? So we cannot ignore the home perspective and the parents' role. But in this technology-driven era, how to bring the parents in consent with the school's way of teaching and learning is very important. So that can also be done because we have many systems. We have to always think that, and even we have to make the parents also understand that every learner is different. Your child is unique, remember it. My child is unique. So I should not be comparing my child with any other child. So it means my child has its own abilities, capabilities. Is the only thing is how to enhance and strengthen that, what kind of atmosphere I have to give at home, what I am looking at the school to provide me or to support me in the understanding of my child and moving ahead for the career. So that build has to be made by the schools, of course, by the schools, because the greater responsibility lies on the school, because school means it's a systematic approach to learning and understanding. And unless and until one goes to school, though there has been the cases where the researchers and that even the Nobel laureates, they have not been to school, but they still are the like the ones who are leading us. So I'm not going into that, but it's very important, very important. So the school has to create the system, and that system is already there, like PTAs are there, PTMs are there. Then nowadays in technology-driven era, we have mobiles, we are making use of WhatsApp groups are there, ERP systems are there, where every minute they are getting the information whether the child has reached to the school, what the child is learning, that is being shared, what has been done in the class, what the child is supposed to do, and how the child is supposed to do at home. So everything is being shared, and it is very important to be shared with the parents, so that the parents, whether educated or not educated, see, we all are educators, but we all are parents. But when we behave as parents, we forget that how we have to deal with our own kid. But as an educator, we are able to take care of 30, 40, 50 students in the classroom. And that too in a very personalized manner, because one shoe cannot fit all. So we know the capabilities and abilities, strengths and weaknesses. We do this all SWOT analysis. So we know that this child learns by being after the child, maybe by making the child write again and again, maybe to read the things to the child out, or maybe some other visual aid, or taking help of the parents, maybe sometimes rewarding and punishing, different ways, right? So we know that is personalized learning, but herein the educators have to bring the parents into picture with transparency. The same way the parents have to be transparent when they come and discuss with the teacher how the child is at home, what the child does, how the child behaves, because these behaviors are very important aspect of the learning of the child. If it is not being shared, then the educator is not able to take the full, you can say, bring the full potential of the child, and the child, we say, is a failure, but it is not a failure. The child may turn into another success in another platform in different manner. Because everyone cannot be at the top of the ladder. One has to be at the bottom to declare the other one at the top. So for that, one has to understand the bottom is also very important, because because the bottom layer is going to create many other opportunities for many of the people. This is important. So this collaborative approach between the parents and the educators, bringing the most effective and impactful child out, is very important. So in that, the systems have to be created. The information has to be shared from both the sides on a common platform, without just bringing the child's weaknesses, but talking about the abilities and finding the ways out. It's so important. Because we are in the 21st century, where we talk about competitive skills. Competitive skills, we talk about the different ways of assessments. We talk of interdisciplinary approach. So when we talk about all these things, we have to make it practical. We have to understand, like ma'am has mentioned about different Qs, IQ, SQ. So it is important. It is a part of that. And here, if I might add, community is also a partner for understanding of the child and for the learning, because the child comes from a different environment. And if we don't know the environment, then we are not going to accomplish the need of the children. I remember some children coming to me and talking about, because if you notice like something is there, the child is not learning or not behaving. So I had one-to-one interaction with such kind of students. They talk about like the father drinking, beating the mother, not getting the right environment. And this is happening even now also. See, my school is little different. Because it comes, I have all kinds of students coming from the first generation learners, very rural agricultural background, and also from the highest society, right? So it's a mixed belt school. So I face even nowadays also, it's not 30 years back when I joined the school, but now also the same kind of problems are coming, because certain mindsets are still there. So we need to deal with all such kind of things, and for that we need to understand the child coming from the particular belt, the family, the parents. Maybe there is some problem between husband and wife, the father and mother. The child is not able to. So therein goes the personalized learning and the role of educators and the role of parents, making it a collaborative approach for the fruitful, you can say, the life for the child. It's just not what the child achieves, because definitely every child is talented, every child is unique. One is going to get one or another way success in life. But his only thing is, we have to remember when the child grows up, what the child remembers of the childhood, how the child was being taken care of, how the child was being pat behind. Because personalized robotics and all, yes, they are also working, like ma'am was talking about, if they are going to greet and all. Yes, there are robots, there are such kind of, they greet, they just behave like the human beings. But still, the warmth in the eyes, the warmth in our hands, the warmth in our gestures, and that the same gesture we have to extend to the parents, that confidence the parents have in us, we have to stand with that confidence. Yes, we are there with you. We are there for your kid. Your child is my child. And we remember Abraham Lincoln, I'm handing over my child to you as my child is my world. I want you to let the child explore his world in his own way. You just support the child, strengthen the world of the child. And therein, the child is going to be an individual, which is going to be fruitful for the society and for the humanity at large, because we are global citizens and we are looking at the globe to have a future generation which is, of course, technologically very sound, but having the empathy for each other, understanding each other, understanding the strengths and weaknesses, not to mock at, but to stand, like we all stood in the COVID times, to stand, to support, and then to lead together. I think that's enough. I can thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Such powerful thoughts. Thank you for sharing them. Well, with that, we do come to the end of our panel discussion, and we heard some really valuable insights. But before I call a final stop, I would like to open the forum to our audience. You all have been wonderful. And if we could just take 2 questions from any of the audience member, could be asked to any of the panelists. And the discussion is now open. So anybody from the audience, any school leader, educator would like, yes, please. So we'll take 2 questions, and the team on ground, please help them with the mics. Thank you.
Can I just add some 1-2 strategies how the parents can be the collaborators in learning? Like, you can make parents as partners. You can invite them for like what we do. When the session starts, we share the Google form. And we take the skills that we were talking about, the data collection and all. We collect the data of the parents also. We try to see their skill set. Then we invite the parents as per their skill set to share their either the knowledge, to be a part, maybe like dancing together, like on Garba and all, dancing together in the sports ground, maybe running together, maybe in the classroom, doing something to it. So these are the different things, very simple strategies I'm talking of, which can be done and which are being done. Also, many schools are doing it. So thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. So just 2 questions, and since we would also like to keep the answers short and maybe not more than a minute or 2. It's a request. Yes.
Good evening to everyone. My question is based on the last question. That is keeping parents aligned. See, there are the 3 things that we are keeping for a child's success, and whatever we are discussing here as educators, we are focusing on the success of a child, of every child. And if I can recall, the founder chairman of my school, Colonel Prem Sharan Satsangi, used to say that every child is a winner. Now, we put our level best to make every child a winner. We do best from our student side, and teachers do their best. But you know, we are not achieving that aim where we can make every child a winner, because the parents' role, whatever the efforts we put, it always remains a hurdle. Not everyone, not all the parents, but some parents are there who want to impose their obligations, their desires on their children. Like, if the father is running a business, they want the child to run a business. Now, since we are talking about the personalized learning, and we collect data through AI and technology and all, but are the parents able to get convinced, like what the child, we provide our data to the parents, that this is what your child is fit for. But the parents have their different attitude, that no, I want my child to do this. Even we are on 21st century, and we are on the verge of moving ahead with the technology. How to get this mindset of the parents changed, that they may take our children on the ground where teachers' effort and educators' effort come to a success on making every child a winner.
All right, if I have understood the question correctly, we want to understand how do we change the mindset of parents, and
especially in the field of technology and personalized learning,
and involve them in the teaching learning process.
Yes.
So is there a particular panelist you would like to ask?
Yes, any.
Okay. So it is not possible 100%, but it is possible in a way. Counseling of the parents is very important. We need to talk to the parents. We need to understand the background of the parents, because usually what happens, the parents pass on their ambitions, unfulfilled ambitions, to the children. So we need to understand, and then we need to have very solid proofs of the attributes of the child, the likings that, and there are so many psychometric tests and so many things are there. So we can take help of the psychologists, the counselors, and we can have one-to-one, face-to-face meeting to understand and make the parents. Of course, all the parents will not understand, but still we have done that. Many parents, they understand, because otherwise they are going to lose their children, because such cases also we see in the society. So that is the counseling of the parents, one-to-one interaction, having the complete data of the child, the interest and the aptitude both, with some kind of solid proof, and I think this way we will be able to sort it out. Thank you.
Thank you for the answer, ma'am. One more question we could... Oh, okay. Yes, sure. Yeah, yeah.
I have the mic.
Yes, please, ma'am.
All right. Yeah. Good evening, everyone. I'm Ritu Singh from Brew Angels Global School, and a wonderful discussion. And there's a lot that I need to ask, but one thing that is right on the tip of my tongue is it's like I'm coming back to the parents, but not directly. But see, today is this thing, the parents are still, whether we actually talk to them, actually convince them in following this new strategies and new technological, empowered classes. But then they again come down to the competitive world of the same, the NEET and the JEEs. So how do we actually get to that end result, which is like what a broader spectrum for our students? So may I put this question to Rita ma'am, please?
Thank you for asking a relevant question. We teach children, which we don't. They learn despite our labeling them. But as ma'am said, that there's a triangle. This third angle, we only meet them on PTM days. Fees nahi aayi to, PTM mein kuch shikayat karni hai to, and if there is a function, dresses chahiye, kuch collaboration chahiye. Sometimes, of course, most of us, and I know all the schools have this practice, as ma'am was saying, you take a Google sheet and you know what the skills of, so you call a doctor, you call an engineer, you call a fashionist, you call an artist, parents who share. How many of us have actually gone through this experience? आपको याद है क्लास 10th आते ही बच्चे का इतना स्ट्रेस बढ़ जाता है 9th से ही कि बेटा इंजीनियर ही बनना है. And think of the movie Idiot. मैं गुप्ता जी के लिए नहीं पढ़ रहा था, है ना, मैं अपने लिए पढ़ रहा था. और आप किस में खुश हैं? How do you find that index of happiness for a parent? Is, I did this exercise for ages, and she knows, instead of finding out the passion and the aptitude of my children, and their marks were with us because you have the data so you can predict, because you can interpret it in right manner. We did aptitude tests of parents, right? And they were forcing their children, सबको science ही लेना है, humanities भी लेना है, but अगर कोई example देखे तो. When we did their aptitude test, before aptitude test, we didn't tell them that aptitude test है आपका. उसके पहले हमने एक बहुत सुंदर सा फॉर्म दिया, बहुत कुछ, किसी को पेंटिंग करने दिया, किसी को कुछ करने दिया, just to find out what was their passion, right? And then we took their aptitude test. And then we asked them to write it on a slip, what was their score in their 10th or 12th, right? And then we matched them and showed 90% of them were in the wrong field of profession. उसके बाद किसी पेरेंट की हिम्मत नहीं हुई अपने बच्चे को बोलने की, बेटा इंजीनियर बन जा, क्योंकि तू जब पैदा हुआ था तो मेरा ये ड्रीम था. Because we had student scores, we had students' passion, which they had, because there was reflective sessions every quarter that children used to. We didn't have report cards. After assessments, children used to write their own achievements, what they had, what is their dream, and whether they're going on that route or not. If they are good, what would they like to do? If not, then what they should do. That was reflection of there. So we had their reflections, their passions with us, we had their scores with us, and we had done their aptitude test already. Then we made parents and child sit together in front of us and decide on, because we had the aptitude test of the child, we had the passion. So we had already scaled that these are the 10 or 12 areas that your child should go for, and these are preferences the child can have, the colleges the child could go for, the higher education the child can go for, and even have the list of scholarship given colleges for them and parents, because these parenting sessions and orientation for parents is the required, the need of the hour. पेरेंट्स की गलती नहीं, हमारे भी पेरेंट्स की गलती नहीं थी. All of them wanted us to go for science because they were all score driven. उनके लिए वही डेटा था. ठीक है, आज भी हमारे लिए क्या ना, all of us sitting here, all of us want our children to do masters and go to US. That's another thing कि इंडिया में रिसर्च बेस्ड है ही नहीं कुछ, क्या करेंगे. बट वो कैसे बनेगा till you're not aware of it. So when parents know, and class 7th 8th से ही अगर parents को पता है कि भैया मैं ही गलत प्रोफेशन में हूँ तो मैं अपने बच्चे पे क्यों ये ढाल रहा हूँ, then they give that kind of liberty to their children. Yes, there is a list of colleges, the list of professions, the list of careers your child can go, and looking at the scores, the ability and passion of your child, where would your child be successful? किसी भी पेरेंट, किसी भी माँ या बाप को आप बोलो कि आपका बच्चा सक्सेसफुल ऐसे बनेगा, they would definitely follow that. And I have tried it for more than I think 23, 24 years, right from 99 I think, and it has worked. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you for answering the question. And
Just 2 lines, I promise. Not more than 2 lines for each other.
Okay.
Not more than 2 lines, ma'am. And you said that there shouldn't be any NTT and B.Ed. It should not be the criteria for selecting the teachers. I just want you to throw some light on the criteria. How do we select teachers with the qualities which you just mentioned in your talk? The compassion, because these are not the a measurable thing. You know, compassion you can't measure at the interview when you are interviewing a candidate. Now Google also has removed all those qualifications, but they have a very structured way of selecting the candidate. They take almost 2 to 3 months to select a candidate. The schools can't do that. So can you just guide us on how what should be the criteria for selecting? Suppose if you're not going by NTT and B.Ed.
You know, there's one that I'm the culprit, it seems. Even I wasn't a B.Ed. But, if you are the principals or heads of the school, one, that your gut feeling is there. Number 2, the only question you have to ask them is, why are you here? Because most of us came to teaching because we didn't get into any other profession, let me tell you.
It's only
No. I said most of us. I said most of us, underlined.
The answer you get is it is a job
Yeah,
of convenience.
it is job of convenience. शादी के मार्केट में भी अच्छा होता है और B.Ed के बाद कहीं नहीं गए तो ये कर लो. But I'm saying most of us. I'm saying most of us. I didn't say all of us. But this question is very pointed. Why are you there? And when you're talking to people, you will get to know whether there is an element of truth in it or there is an element of, right? After that, it's very important. लोग कहते हैं demo classes. People observe, and if there's a chemistry teacher, you will send chemistry HOD in the class to observe. Sorry ma'am, उसके पास chemistry की qualification है, degree है, तो उसका demo chemistry के लिए नहीं लेना है. उसका demo किस लिए लेना है? The entire persona of the person. Do not appoint a teacher or any staff member in your school if you have not observed the passion of the person while teaching. And what is it that you're teaching, looking at, observing? The methodology, the connectivity, and the communication. If a person has these 3 things, the person is a successful teacher. There are number of times when, as a principal, I have learned from my teachers. Keep your mind open and you will get to know. And your gut feeling will tell you this is a successful teacher. Thank you.
So, ma'am, do you suggest some kind of psychometric test for the...
There is something called TAT, Teacher's Ability Test, which is a big, and I'm a psychologist. It's a big farce.
So I get that a lot of questions have to be asked, but I'm going to put an end to this right now, wind up, in the interest of time. And team, so ma'am, I can do one thing, ma'am. There's a networking break, and where all of us will get to connect and ask questions. If I may please request that we can take these questions then. Okay. All right. I understand, and I would like to honor the request But I'm going to request, please keep the question and the answers very short.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, one of the questions from my side. If you are a teacher and you have a classroom and you have a 40-minute period and you're teaching English, would you allow your students to go on asking questions? Because you have to satisfy your students. So we are in a dilemma whether to take the question or not to take the question.
Take one question now.
One
ma'am.
question. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Please, go ahead.
Thank you so much. Okay. So, first of all, good evening, everybody. And thank you so much, dear eminent speakers, for the wonderful and wonderful session, wonderful information that was very relevant. My question, not one, but two questions, okay? Very simple only, okay? So, first is related to technology, you know, Pia ma'am. Okay. So, talking about technology, I do believe technology, as you also believe, I do believe that technology has a lot of benefits, okay? But then what I feel is it will reduce the need of teachers one day. This is what I feel. This is my question. The children will become emotionally dry. You know, if they are with the technology, they will become emotionally dry as they now feel that there is no need of teacher. And it has started now. They don't respect their teachers. That respect has gone already. So my question to you is how to cope up with this. Okay. And one more question, which is on personalized learning. Lot of challenges. How are we going to face these challenges? Because it takes a lot of time for the teacher to get engaged with the children, for the teacher to get engaged with the parents, and on the top of that, so many times we have holidays. Off and on. Though CBSE has reduced, syllabus, but still any time, any day, I mean, there is a declaration of holiday. How to cope up with this?
I'll go with the first question first. That was regarding...
Thank you so much.
Yeah, regarding how we teachers are feeling very insecure with technology coming in. Do you all agree with that? I don't think so. I really don't believe it. See, technology is just a tool to study better. It's just a tool. The student has to be guided what to see, what not to see. We are there to tell them. You know, when they're watching a video, they're understanding a concept. We are the ones helping them to understand better. You know, for everything, I mean, believe me, when you have your, okay, we all have our smart classes. What does the teacher do? She just switches on the video and says, okay, watch, understand. I sit aside and you continue. Are we doing that? We're not doing that. The teacher pauses, asks questions, asks doubts. There are times when students still has a curiosity happening there. So that's the role of the teacher, the interaction, the emotional connect that is happening there. The social connect happening among the students where each of them are explaining to each other. So ma'am, believe me, we are there to stay and valued always. So let's clap for ourselves. We will be there. Nobody can replace us. We know how to use the tool. It is going to be a boon and not a bane for us. Definitely. And other question that ma'am answers.
I just wanted to say द्रोणाचार्य भी थे, Aristotle भी थे और आप भी रहेंगे.
Second question Dhriti ma'am wants to take.
And as far as completion of syllabus is concerned, I don't know why as teachers we are only bothered about the completion of but if your child, you've been able to give the child that kind of knowledge, that kind of learning, what is happening? I mean, I really, there are times when supposing a games period is taken up by a teacher to complete a syllabus. Oh, come on, what are we doing? What are we doing? I mean, there are some sad faces when you see what happened, ma'am. Our PE period was taken up by the chemistry teacher. Why? No. I don't think so. If you have your plans in place, if you have your time management in place, everything in place. Yes, there are teachers who take classes, virtual classes on Saturdays and Sundays also. I mean, they are that committed too. So you need to be committed. Absolutely.
So, well, leaders, educators,
So there is a
principals.
solution. Okay, yeah, I know.
No, ma'am, please conclude.
We need to. No, it's okay. Every problem has a solution. You need to find it, please. Every problem would have a solution.
Very, very interesting. Yeah. So every problem has a solution. Ma'am, I'm gonna please request.
We are not connecting them. They are sitting at home, not coming to the school, and they are just learning from the mobile phones. They are addicted and hooked to the technology. How come personalized? Ma'am, my question
whose
is,
fault is that?
How
ma'am?
come personalized?
I think that means we are not very powerful. We are not effective.
Ma'am, I
we are
have
irrelevant.
not completed my question. My question is this. This is the fact of the matter. We are dealing with this situation. The question is, how come personalized learning we are connecting with a spiritual quotient? That is lacking. And what about the life skills? We are training robots. We are making robots in the society and nothing at all. What about the life skills? Life skills are not there. And the respect teachers used to have is going day by day. Students are sitting at the home. We are supposed to call them every day. So this is the problem with the technology. We have to connect spiritual quotient, emotional quotient, and IQ, all the three things with this personalized learning.
Thank you for the question, ma'am. And I would request the panelists to kindly take it during the networking break. Please, it's a humble request. It has been wonderful moderating and listening to you all. Thank you for the question, ma'am. And with that, to conclude, it has been truly, truly insightful and a power-packed discussion. Do we all agree? Yes. Thank you so much to our esteemed panelists. Thank you so much. And let's move on to the next segment. Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Can I request everyone to please take their seats? Thank you so much. Team, please send everybody inside if anybody has moved out. Thank you so much. Alright, once again, thank you to the panelists. It was really wonderful hearing you all. And now we move on to a special segment. At Q&I, we believe in the power of personalization and the transformative impact of adaptive learning. Q&I is a bridge that connects students to their fullest potential. And we create an environment where every student can thrive. Now in a world, and like we discussed in the panel discussion, technology is reshaping every aspect of our lives. Is the head of product and business operations at Q&I and is an alumnus of IIT Kanpur with around 20 years of experience in the education space.
He has authored several academic books for jail and a bestseller fiction titled The Ramayana Secret. He comes with comprehensive experience in several top edtech companies in different roles in content, product, and business. Mr. Chandra, once again, welcome to the stage, and it is all yours to take the audience to the Q&I vision. Thank you.
Thank you, Shreya. Good evening, educators and school leaders. Thank you for taking time out today to attend the Q&I Today conclave today. And it was a very enriching experience listening to your thoughts on the future of personalized learning. And the session got extended, probably 1.5 hour session it was, but it was so engaging that nobody moved. And the insights were so very powerful, so very relevant to what we are discussing. As a content and technology company, we agree to the belief that technology is going to be an enabler, not competing, but complementing the teachers. So whatever solution that technology brings about has to work with the teachers, because they are going to be the primary education or the learning providers, while we stand there to assist them, provide them with the tools and the framework to actually execute. The next 15-20 minutes, I know that it's been a long session and we would be moving to a networking break shortly after. So I'll keep my presentation to 15-20 minutes, where I'll give you an introduction about the company that we come from, and the programs and the offerings that we have come from. And post that, our team is around. We'll be very happy to take your questions, to take your insights, and also to attempt to come to your school, meet you in person at a convenient time as per your convenience, and explain to you more about the programs and offerings that our company has come up with. Beginning with the company that we are a part of, we are a part of Thomson Digital. Thomson Digital is part of the larger India Today umbrella group of companies. So we belong to Thomson Digital, which is a content and technology solutions provider company, and we have been servicing customers, global customers, in the scientific, technical, medical, and educational fields for the last 5 decades. We have been providing content and technology solutions to them, and we have a lot of sensitive data, journals, so we make all that ready. So we have been into that for the last 50 years, and we have been servicing global publishers there. How the idea of Q&I, the event and the company that we are representing today, how the idea of Q&I germinated from Thomson Digital was that while we were working for the global publishers, global customers across, we wanted to do something for the country. We wanted to come back and do something for the education space in India. And that is where the idea of Q&I came about. When we started off, technology was picking up and there were several edtech companies coming into the fray. We started out roughly 4.5 years, though we have been into the market for the last 2 years, but we started out around 4 years back. A lot of time was spent on research, survey, understanding what the needs of the market are. Because when we started out 4.5 years back, prior to COVID, there were lots of companies already there. And we did not want to be one amongst the many. We wanted to first understand what is the problem. And we figured out that a lot of companies or the lot of edtech players that were already in the market, we are providing solutions to the end customers or the end users, which were the students. A lot of them were not focusing on how to get to the students. So they were creating solutions directly for them, selling it to them. Nobody was working on a proper mechanism to actually ensure that the learning is complete. And that is where we started talking to various stakeholders. We reached out to schools, school leaders, we reached out to parents, we reached out to students. And we felt that since we started, before I said we entered into the K-12 space, and the first thing that we started to look into was the competitive test prep segment, which is 11th and 12th competitive examinations like the JEE, NEET, CUET, and these examinations, because that's where most of the focus of the students is. We started with that, though now we are offering solutions starting from grade 8, not focusing on any particular exam, but on building learning skills. So we started out with 11th and 12th, and at that stage we figured out that there were many after-school programs that were on offer. A lot of these programs were catering to the need that there was, but they were competition success oriented. While the school was focused on board success, on the overall holistic development of the child, these after-school programs catered mainly to the competitive test preparation. and the students had to choose between one of the two. The serious students probably, there was a culture of dummy schools, students not going to the regular schools and using that time to go to these after-school programs, or a lot of students trying to balance both but not being able to do so. So this was the state when we started out. So though both of them, the after-school program and the school as such, were offering solutions, but they were working in an anti-parallel direction. So they were offering solutions that were not working in tandem. So what we were getting was a competing program to the school education. Though the school syllabus that was being asked in these examinations was similar to what is asked, the school syllabus is similar to what is being asked in these examinations, but there was two sets of teachers who were teaching these. So it was a competing program that were being developed, and students were facing a lot of academic load because of that. The solutions that were being provided were one size fits all. Because the exams are standardized, the exams, everybody has to take the same examination, the preparation was also standardized, everybody was going through the same factory. Some people, some students were able to cope up with it, gained and succeeded, while the others were left out. So there was a one-size-fits-all approach, there was no personalization. With the advent of technology, or with the usage of technology, this problem was easily solved. Or probably we can attempt to solve the problem of one-size-fits-all. So this was a problem. There was an unregulated learning. Since these programs were after school, happening outside the school, there was no control. The teachers who were teaching in these programs, a lot of them were not trained to be teachers. And that's why there were several problems that led to students feeling pressurized because of these examinations, underperforming, and then being left out of the race. What is needed probably at this time is a complementing solution. A complementing solution that works in tandem with the school, because the whole analysis of the survey that we did, we felt that schools are where everything should be handled, because it provides you with a very safe and secured environment. The child has been into that system for the last 10, 12 years. It makes sense for the child to stay there and learn to perform optimally. And the need to have individual student focus. When you are at a school, you have small class sizes, you are able to cater to the students more at an individual level. And if we incorporate technology into the whole aspect, into the whole solution, probably getting down to the granular level of understanding and providing the remedies for every child is very much possible. So this was the need of the hour. And from there, the solution called the Q&I came about. So Q&I works with the school. We are not a coaching program. We work with the schools to develop a program within the school premises, within the school, that caters to the students. We started off by catering to students who are preparing for the competitive examinations 11th and 12th, but now we are into offering solutions for class 8, 9 and 10 students as well, where we focus on building their learning skills. How we are doing that, we'll just talk about that. But what the solution primarily caters to is providing a seamlessly integrated learning program at school for board and competition success. So when we come with a solution, why we are working with the school is because we want to come up with an academic calendar, with an academic program that can work with the school in two models. One is an on-site model where our teachers will be stationed at the school and they'll be imparting the preparation for these examinations. 6 days a week they stay there as part of the school. They extend their stay to cater to the students at an individual level. So that's called the on-site model, where physically the teachers would stay there. And the second is the hybrid model. Hybrid model of learning is where our teachers will be teaching from a centralized studio, while we will work with the school teachers who will be in the classroom working with the students on a smart board or on a smart classroom. Our classes will be conducted. We'll be providing you with the assessments and the practice and the adaptive platform that we have developed to ensure that the success in these examinations is ensured. So these are the two models in which we work, and it is seamlessly integrated with the academic plan of the school. The second is personalized attention. As I said, the program that we are offering, in addition to the learning that is being imparted by the teachers, we have a very uniquely crafted Q&I adaptive learning platform that's AI powered. So again, the usage of technology is such that we enable the teachers to get the data to work on the individual students. So much so that because Thomson Digital has been into the space of content for 15 years. So structuring of content has been our bread and butter. So when we design the content, we just don't simply focus on the assessments where we are able to gauge how much the child has learned in terms of accuracy or the scores. What we also focus on is to check where the students are in terms of their learning skills. By learning skills, the understanding that we have developed is when a child has to perform in any of these examinations, there are a set of learning skills that they need to be honed in. Learning skills, core learning skills such as ability to comprehend, ability to analyze, evaluate the information, and the knowledge part of it to be able to solve these questions. So these are some of the core learning skills that we focus on. And there are some strategic learning skills. Is the child able to manage the time properly? Is the child able to solve the questions at the required speed? Because these examinations are timed tests, so you have to have a certain speed as well. So these are the strategic learning skills. So when we design the content, it is not just from the perspective of whether the child is making the question right or wrong. We structure it in such a way that our learning skills, the information about learning skills is also gathered. Every question in our system is not just a simple, medium, or a difficult question. We divide it into 27 levels, objectively defined into 27 different levels. How does that help? It helps in personalizing it more at a very, very granular level for the child. So there are, instead of 3 big steps, when the child begins to solve questions on the platform, there are 27 small steps that they go through, which ensures that we are able to impart personalization at a very granular level. So that is one thing that we do, and we don't focus just on the knowledge part of it, we focus on the evaluation, the knowledge, the comprehension, all these learning skills as well. So that way we are able to personalize the focus on, personalized attention to focus on individual students. The third aspect, since the solution is being offered, the program is being offered within the school premises during the school hours, the child gets the safe and secured environment that they look for. In fact, some of the schools where our programs are currently engaged with, the first students who come to take admissions in our programs are the girl students, because the parents feel about the security. Going to a tuition center, going to a coaching program, taking them to these centers is a major problem. So the first, almost 60% of the students who enroll in the first 2-3 days are the girl students. So that safety and security aspect is a very important concern for the parents that we take care of. And the fourth is the reduced burden and opportunities for school teachers. We heard in the panel that while technology is here to stay, probably as teachers we also need to upskill, understand technology, take the good parts of it, and also give feedback on what is not needed or what needs to change. So that way we work with the school teachers to provide a solution for them, to unburden them from the aspects of test creation and spending a lot of time or gathering data from the academic perspective. So you get relevant dashboards and reports at the click of a button. When we are working on these 4 aspects, the success of the program is defined. So we don't just put it out on paper in a very theoretical aspect from what we are trying to achieve. We pen it down and it comes to the key performance indices that we define for the success of the project, which is improved results and higher student retention. Obviously, a lot of students post class 10 do leave the regular schooling. Almost 20% of the students leaving regular schooling after class 10 do so because they have to prepare for these competitive examinations. So once we have a program that solves for all these and we can do it within the school premises, the problem of retention is also solved for a lot of schools. A lot of cities face this problem. The second is adoption of technology. There are a number of schools out there, and when we come up with a technology that does not work in isolation, it's not a recorded or a live course program where the school does not have any say. So when we bring about a program, a technology program, and a tech program that is ingrained within the schooling system, you are able to achieve more out of it. And that way we are able to stand out from the competition. With the implementation and with the results that will come through, obviously, new admissions are bound to follow. At a very, what we talked about was the program at a very macro level. At a more granular level, when we begin implementing the program within the school, there are 5 essential elements which we call the learning cycle. When the students get enrolled in a program, either in the on-site, which is the physical teacher model, or the hybrid, which is the online teacher teaching from the centralized studios and the school teachers being in the class with the students, we begin with a diagnostic test. Because the children are at different levels. No two children are at the same level. So what we first do is begin with a diagnostic test, understand where each child is, prescribe certain remedial solutions, prescribe certain exercises to them, work with them in a bridge course to ensure that before the beginning of the program, they are at the same proficiency levels. Thereafter begins the learning. I explained that it works in two models, the on-site and the hybrid mode. With the learning, the child goes back to practice, do homework, take assessments. And these assessments, again as I said, is taken on the Q&I adaptive learning platform. Adaptive because every child will begin at their own learning level. They will get questions according to their levels, and as they gain in the proficiencies, it's going to go up. Based on the adaptive practice and assessment, we are able to generate a lot of analytics. Analytics not just in terms of the scores, but also in terms of understanding what their knowledge gaps are, understanding their strengths, weaknesses, opportunity and hurdle areas. In fact, one of the AI models that we have built into the system is also to understand what is the time in which the student is performing best. So we have AI models where the child is going to come on the platform, solve questions, practice, take assessments. We are able to gauge what time the student is performing best. Now these competitive examinations are taken at a particular time. The timings will always be 10 to 1 or probably 2 to 5. So the child also has to adapt to take these exams and probably optimally perform if their performance is best at that time. So with the help of the AI model that we have built in, we are able to provide that information, the feedback and then recommendations to ensure this. So these are some of the AI models that we have built in. So the deep analytics, which actually not just tells you about your performance, it predicts what you will end up with a biological clock that tells you that you have to change certain things to actually perform best in those examinations, as well as a learning journey that we develop. When the child comes into the system, they come on a particular day and we know when they are going to take the final examinations. So the success, the final day is defined. The path that they are taking based on the practice of the assessments that they are taking on the platform, based on that we are able to chart a learning journey, much like the Google Maps that we have. We define from where to where we have to go, and there is a learning journey that's defined, the time, etc. is defined. Similar to that, we are trying to build in a learning roadmap for the child. So that kind of analytics is there in the Q&I platform that we have developed. Basis the analytics, we are able to figure out the students, their strengths, opportunity, hurdle and the weaknesses. Post understanding that, we invite students for need-based tutorials. Now these need-based tutorials do not call every student into a class to do doubt solving for them. Based on the data that we have, we figure out which topics, not at a subject level, not at a chapter level, at a topic and concept level, we are able to understand which children are probably in the second quadrant, which is the opportunity area, which is where we need to focus on to bring it to the strength area. Probably work on the hurdles to bring them to the opportunity areas, because weakness is something that we have to invest more on, but opportunity and hurdles are those areas where a little bit of effort could make it strengthen their learning or the understanding of the topics. So these need-based tutorials focus on that. We are able to create homogeneous groups of students, invite them and then cater to them individually, and that is how we complete the whole learning loop. In terms of understanding where we are and how much for how long have we been in the market, we went out with a solution in the market last year. It was not a launch, we pre-launched in the sense that we tried to understand the market with 50 selected schools across the country. And there were some other students on an individual basis that we focused on. So 50 schools where we partnered with, and there were lots of students who enrolled on the platform on an independent basis. So around 5,000 students did enroll into the platform last year. Out of the students who appeared in JEE 2024, The success rate for us was 15% students scoring 90 percentile and above. As opposed to a national average of 4%, we were able to achieve a 15% success rate in the terms of the number of students scoring 90 percentile and more. Top percentile score for us was 99.93, and it was from one of the less privileged schools, not from the top tier schools right here in Delhi. That in a nutshell is what we are all about, the kind of results we have produced in the market. This year we are going out to 40 cities. So this year for us is a launch year where we are focusing on 40 cities, Faridabad being one of them. We are trying to reach out to the school leaders. The intent is to introduce the program to you today here, and subsequently we would like to take some time out from your schedules to meet you in person, understand the school requirements, and also explore if we can have some kind of a collaboration working out with the school. So this year we are trying to reach out to 40 cities, around 2,000 schools, 2 lakh learners. That's the agenda, or that's the mission or vision for us for this particular year. And as part of that whole campaign, we are here to meet you and get your feedback, insights, and there are a lot of insights that we are going to take back, incorporate that into the program that we are building, and come up with a customized solution for the schools out here. So this broadly is the solution that we have. I'd be glad to take any feedback, any questions from you. In terms of the financials, in terms of how we implement the program, I think every school will have their own needs because we have different programs basis the strength of the students, basis the classes that you want to go for. We are offering solutions for grades 8 to 12. In grades 8, 9 and 10, we provide solutions for maths, science and social science. In 11th and 12th, we are focusing on JEE and NEET. As a byproduct, we also provide the learning solution for board and for CUET, the domain subjects specifically for science. Over the next 2-3 years, Q&I is also building programs for the other streams, humanities, commerce, CLAP, other entrance examinations. But as of now, we are focused on these specific areas. So we have a registration desk. My team would be around. We have a registration desk just on the right corner. So you can just visit there. Our team will be there to note down your appointment, and we'll be there. Since we are based out of Noida itself, any day that you have 30 minutes, 45 minutes for us, we'll be glad to come over and present to you the whole program.
When you have this individual charity program, like you must be surely charging the package.
Right.
Right. So but when you find out there are certain students like that, when you need individualized attention for them, so do you charge separately for that?
No, so these need-based tutorials that I talked about,
yeah.
So they are ingrained as part of the solution itself.
So all may not be needing, just
Nothing.
a couple of them.
Absolutely.
So
you have a set of students. So you have a set of students. Once the learning is complete, they go to their homes, practice on the platform. The platform itself generates a lot of tasks and the recommendations for them. In addition to that, we have these specialized programs. Based on the data, we understand where the child is lacking. And we don't invite everybody. We create homogeneous. So for a chapter that's being taught, there are 5 topics in that chapter. We understand that for this topic, these are the students who probably need some bit of help to actually get into the strength zone. These are the students, if we don't work on them right away, they are going to fall in the weakness zone. There is something on the fundamental aspect that we need to work on. So basis the data, we are able to create these groups. We invite them only on the basis of this, and then we conduct these classes. If we are doing it in a completely hybrid mode, where our teachers are teaching in the studios, these doubt classes or the tutorials are done online, outside the school hours. If we are offering in an on-site model where our physical teachers are present, it happens right there in the school. Any other feedback, any other questions? We would be utilizing the networking break that we'll be having to reach out to individually everybody, and probably 30 minutes of the time in networking will be spent introducing ourselves. Probably we'll take another 30-45 minutes to explain the program in detail, because there is a whole academic plan that we have worked out, the nitty-gritties of it. So we would be very, very happy to share that with you, work out a solution that works best for the school.
Is there any
Yes, yes. Because to make it viable, there is a certain limitation on the number of students. So if you're going for a hybrid model, for example, we need to have a class because these classes will be conducted in school. So from the school perspective also, you will need to have a certain set of number of students to be able to provide a class, probably a teacher. So that is the limitation that we have in the hybrid. So these classes, the minimum number of students, 30-35 is what we are looking at. Yes. All right. So thank you for the patient hearing, and we hope that you like the program, or there would be certain clarifications, certain questions in your mind. My team would be there to assist everyone, and we would be very glad if you could spare 2 minutes of your time to actually book a physical appointment with us. My team is there. There's a desk, registration desk, right outside on the left, on the right side. We would be very appreciative if you could just spare 2 minutes to provide us with an appointment there. We really look forward to seeing you and discussing the solution in detail subsequently. Thank you.
Thank you, Anurag. And just to remind you all once again, there's a there's a meeting desk right outside. 2 of our team members will be present. You all can let us know when would you like us to book an exclusive slot with our experts, and we'll make the time available. Also, this entire event is being live streamed. I hope you all have shared it with your friends and family. Alright, moving on to the next segment. You all have been very patient, so we were thinking let's take a short networking break, very short. We'll just take it for 15 minutes. There's some refreshments outside. Please help yourselves with that, and we'll be back in 15 minutes and we'll convene for the awards ceremony. Just a very short break. Please have some tea, coffee and snacks, and we'll be back in 15 minutes. Thank you.
That has been organized by Q&I organization. I extend my heartiest congratulations and generous gratitude to the founder and CEO of Q&I, Mr. Vinay Singh, and his team for organizing such a great event where almost all incredible intellectuals of Jammu across China were able to come together under one. Basically, this event was about transformational leadership, which is the need of the hour. And as we all know, the education sector is changing at a fast pace, and we all need to transform ourselves and our initiatives to keep the pace with it. So basically, Q&I is an organization which is providing some kind of solutions for all of us
Principal, GK Public School, Ujwali. I have some pleasure attending this event today, organized by Q&I. Wonderfully, they brought all the educators of Jammu together for the wonderful. It was a pleasure attending the entire session. So we had a discussion on the topic of transformation leadership in this digital age that must have added dimensions to understanding the perception of educators here. The course need a thought. We must have a brainstorming session about to prepare and empower our students for all future. So that way, I'm sure that the discussion and attending the entire program, educators will make this very particular so many takeaways with them.
What we have started out with is a test preparation segment, need-based learning, assessment-based learning, as you can call it. But we want to turn into a company that offers holistic learning to the child. We don't want to be confined to a particular exam as such, but be a part of the entire learning process. Make it more participative, make it more collaborative. We're cutting it technology basically to actually take it to the next level, make learning more enjoyable and more tangible in terms of the outcomes that come through it. That is what the vision for Faridabad is.
I am a grade 10 student. I have already figured out that I'll be appearing for NEET exam. How should I go about it?
First of all, congratulations for such a clarity at a class 10 stage. Now, as far as preparation is concerned, Neha, what I feel is this is again an examination. Only difference is again you're competing within 25 or 50 or 35 students per exam, say you're competing at a much larger scale. So the way you go for examination in your regular classroom, similarly you have to go here also. Only thing is I believe few important points are first of all making a plan. So make a timetable which you can follow and timetable which is giving you breathers. Timetable where you have time to enjoy yourself also and be studying also. So I would say making a timetable, being organized, planning the right kind of a study material, which books you should follow, selecting the mentor,
Extremely important. Right mentor as early as possible.
I think consistency is the key
for any competitive exam, not only NEET, JEE, any competitive exam, it's cumulative study that adds on. I believe every day whatever you study will result in success, not studying towards the end or near the end of the exam.
My name is Arvind. I am 17 years old. मैं हमेशा से एक इंजीनियर बनना चाहता था. I love exploring things.
इंजीनियर बनना कोई इतना very easy. So I asked him to join a coaching class.
Freshman के starting में काफी सारे challenges हैं, but time management was first and foremost. School से आना, coaching जाना, उसके बाद stress से लेके time बचाना, ये मुश्किल हो रहा है. Coaching में जो test हो रहे थे उसमें marks कमाने लगे. इसकी वजह से मैं डिमोटिवेट होना स्टार्ट हो गया.
उससे वो बहुत स्ट्रेस में भी आ रहा था. मुझे सोचता था कि वो कर नहीं पाएगा कि नहीं.
इसलिए मैं अपने फ्रेंड सर्कल के पास गया. तो उन्हीं में से एक फ्रेंड ने मुझे सजेस्ट किया Q&I प्लेटफॉर्म के बारे में. Q&I सब्सक्रिप्शन लेने के बाद मैंने सबसे पहले उसमें एक डायग्नोस्टिक असेसमेंट दिया, जिसमें मुझे स्ट्रेंथ एंड वीकनेसेस पता चला. ये कौन सी जगह थी, कौन सा टॉपिक वीक है, कौन सा चैप्टर वीक है. उसके बाद मैंने टॉपिक वाइज टेस्ट देना स्टार्ट कर दिया, जिसमें मैं काफ़ी टाइम कवरिंग होल चैप्टर. आई वाज कवरिंग टॉपिक वाइज थिंग्स. Q&I में ये अच्छा फीचर है कि टॉपिक वाइज क्वेश्चंस अनलिमिटेड है और कितने भी क्वेश्चंस प्रैक्टिस कर सकते हैं. Q&I जब मैंने यूज़ किया तो स्टार्टिंग में उसमें मेरी लेवल के क्वेश्चंस मुझे देना स्टार्ट किए और ग्रेजुअली उस लेवल को इंक्रीज करता गया जैसे इसमें अपने क्वेश्चंस और अच्छे करते गए और मुझे उस लेवल पे ले गया जिस लेवल की प्रिपरेशन मुझे चाहिए एग्जाम को क्रैक करने में. So it's an adaptive platform which helps you to increase the level gradually to practice more and more questions effectively. और मेरा फाइनल पॉइंट जे का रोड मैप था कि मुझे कैसे कैसे आगे बढ़ना है, स्टेप बाय स्टेप कैसे कैसे मुझे आगे चलना है. It acted like a personal mentor for me and it made my performance better. इन सब चीज़ों के अलावा भी जैसे जिन टॉपिक्स में डाउट आ रहा था उनमें Q&I के टीचर्स ने मुझे काफ़ी हेल्प की.
वो RLS प्रिपरेशन को यूज़ किया तो 2-3 महीने बाद मुझे लगा कि इज नॉट कॉन्फिडेंट इन हिज स्टडीज.
साइड पे ट्रैफिक बहुत था और मैं अंदर नहीं आता मैंने चीज़ करके मेरे सामने स्क्रीन पे थी
अंदर बोला आता है मेरे पास यदि मेरा जेई का रिजल्ट आ गया तो मैंने जेई क्लियर कर लिया मेरे को बहुत प्राउड हुआ बहुत अच्छा लगा
कोई नहीं था अभी मैं बहुत खुश हुई उसके आखिर जब हम 2-3 डेज में घूम पाए
I was dreaming of going to college and starting a new life. That was not a solution. The actual solution was given by Q&I and their teachers.
Please request everyone to join us back.
Ask them if they can bring their snacks inside.
Yes.
Rewards?
December. Before that,
Still have time.
We have
November and
Yes, so I'll call you to discuss. But we are from shop traders, we are going to university for this course, and we are like we didn't reach it. Yes, ये करना है
Trend is changing actually. Trend is changing. Many of them are you should not try to change the
जब से यही चल रही है
Yes.
where we have invited speakers also to do workshop. Yes. Thousands of careers are now. Don't know. Yes, true ma'am. Everyone करियर ऑप्शन इतना कुछ कर रहे हैं कि भारतीय के बच्चे इंजीनियरिंग उसी पे ही जा रहे हैं ऑप्शन नहीं दे रहे हैं नहीं दे पा रहे स्कूल का जो बहुत बैक होता है तो सेशंस के लिए टाइम नहीं निकल They are supporting for students, प्रोडक्ट को रजिस्टर कराया पेटेंट करवाया
Good evening, we're about to start in 2 minutes, requesting everybody to please join us back in. Once again, requesting everybody to kindly join us back in. We're about to start with the award segment. Thank you.
Anywhere we can sit. Everywhere there are chairs. Minimum resources, existing resources, everyone keep calm, listening your sweet voice. Can I keep this here?
request everyone to join us back in right now. Good evening, welcome back. Can I please have your attention? I have a small question. So we are moving into the final segment of the award ceremony. However, we would like to do a group photo, which we usually do at the end. In case some of you have planned to leave right after the awards, should we do it right now? Yes. Immediately? Yes. So please come up on stage. Let's do a group photograph. Educators, principals, leaders, please join us. Let's do a group photograph. Please join us for a group photograph. Thank you. Photographer ready?
ये सेंटर शो है। हाँ हाँ, आ जाओ आ जाओ आ जाओ। तो नहीं आ रहे अरे बिल्कुल आएंगे इसका लाउड ये पूरा हटाना पड़ेगा टेबल के टेबल नीचे करो हाँ जी बैग नीचे कर लो बस सर
The youngest one. Take down the team. We've not left any
थोड़ा पीछे चलो, थोड़ा पीछे से बात बस।
Everybody ready? Open your eyes and smile.
You have to. There is no option.
Great. Fantastic.
If the names are not written, you can provide us the award here and we can have
Before we move into the award segment, can I please invite our Executive Director and CEO, Mr. Vinay Singh, to kindly come onto the stage and do the honors. And with him, may I please invite the Q&I team for the award segment. Team, please come up on stage. Join Sir in giving away the awards. Please put your hands together for Mr. Singh. Sir, thank you for coming. Now may I request the Q&I team to join us for the awards. Everybody, Q&I team, please come up on stage. Join us, team. Everyone on ground, please join us. Thank you. Now we move on to a very special award segment. It is my absolute pleasure to introduce our award segment, and this moment is dedicated to honoring the individuals who have gone above and beyond in shaping the future of education. Today, we celebrate the educators, leaders, and change makers who continuously strive for excellence in their work. These awards are a testament to your extraordinary contributions, leadership, and a vision for a brighter future in education. Please join me in applauding the exceptional individuals we are about to recognize. Now, without further ado, let's begin the award ceremony. But before that, let's have a huge round of applause for each one of you. Let's kickstart the award ceremony, and the first award goes to Ms. Alka Arora, Principal, DAV Public School. Please put your hands together. Congratulations, ma'am. Now let's honor Ms. Anita Gautam, Principal, DAV Public School. Congratulations, ma'am. Please put your hands together for Ms. Anita Gupta, Principal, Raman Munjal Vidya Public School. Congratulations, ma'am. for Principal Guru Tegh Bahadur Public School. Congratulations, ma'am. Please put your hands together for Ms. Bhavna Kaul, Principal, New Delhi Public School. Congratulations, ma'am. The next award goes to Ms. Bhuvana R, Principal, Noida International Public School. Congratulations, ma'am. Join me in applauding Mr. C.L. Pardesi, Director, Tagore Public School. The next award goes to Ms. Dhriti.
We are telling Mr. Pradesi and I worked together for 20 long years. I was bankrupt. And I left it. I was grandfather. And I worked with three generations. Mr. Nidhi Puri, father of Mr. Arun Puri, Mr. Arun Puri, and Mr. Ankur Puri, son of Mr. Arun Puri. Absolutely.
The next award goes to Ms. Dhriti Malhotra, Director, Manav Rachna International School. Congratulations, ma'am. Please put your hands together for Dr. Anju Mehrotra, Director, Kalka Group of Institutions. Congratulations, ma'am. May I now invite Dr. Arun Kumar Sharma, Director, Principal, Satyug Darshan Vidyalaya. Big congratulations to you, sir. Please put your hands together for Dr. Mukta Bakshi, Principal, K.R. Mangalam Boys School. Congratulations, ma'am. The next award goes to Dr. Nisha Sharma, Principal, GBN School. Congratulations, ma'am.
थोड़ा साइड होके
Please put your hands together for Dr. Sudesh Bharana, Director, Ideal Public School. Congratulations, ma'am. Join me in welcoming Dr. Upasana Sharma, Principal, Agarwal Public School. The next award goes to Dr. Bindu Sharma, Principal, Delhi Public School. We have Ms. Bakshi taking the award on her behalf. Congratulations, ma'am. Join me in welcoming Ms. Hema Arora, Principal, DAV Police Public School. Congratulations, ma'am. Please put your hands together for Ms. Indu Kaushik, Principal, Ratin Convent School. Ms. Indu Kaushik, congratulations, ma'am. And the next award goes to Ms. Jyoti Saxena, Principal, Platinum Valley International School. Congratulations, ma'am. The next award goes to Ms. Mamta Arora, Principal, Sant Nirankari Public School. Please put your hands together for Ms. Mamta Bharana, Chairperson, Rose Valley International School. Congratulations, ma'am. The next award goes to Ms. Mamta Vadhva, Director and Principal, Manav Rachna International School. Please put your hands together for Ms. Maya Vijayan, Principal, Delhi Public School, Ghaziabad Society. Congratulations, ma'am. May I now invite Ms. Neelam Dareja, Principal, Mahadev Desai Public School. Congratulations, ma'am. With a thundering applause, let's invite Miss Pia Sharma, Principal, Ryan International School. Congratulations, ma'am. The next award goes to Ms. Filomena Gonzalez, Director, Saraswati Global School. Congratulations, ma'am. Please put your hands together for Ms. Pooja Ahuja, Principal, Manuskriti School. Congratulations, ma'am. The next award goes to Ms. Pooja Sharma, Principal, Prestige Convent School. Congratulations, ma'am. Please put your hands together for Mr. Rajan Gautam, Principal, DAV Public School. Congratulations, sir. May I now invite Ms. Rita Kaul, Advisor, Tigor Public School. Congratulations. Please put your hands together for Ms. Ritu Singh, Principal, Blue Angels Global School. Congratulations, ma'am. Now the next award goes to Ms. Ruchika Sakija, Principal, Mahavir Senior Model School. Congratulations, ma'am. Lewis School. Congratulations, ma'am. The next award goes to Mr. Satish Sharma, Vice Principal, Ramjas School. Congratulations, sir. Please put your hands together for Miss Seema Rajvanshi, Principal, DAV Police Public School. Congratulations, ma'am. The next award goes to Ms. Shivani Sahani, Principal, The Modern School. Congratulations, ma'am. Join me in welcoming Ms. Shubhrata Singh, Principal, Suraj Kund International School. We have someone taking the award on ma'am's behalf. The next award goes to Mr. Sushil Kumar Jain, Chairman, Modern School. Congratulations, sir. With a huge round of applause, let's invite Ms. Veena Goyal, Principal, GLT Saraswati Bal Mandir Senior Secondary School. Congratulations, ma'am. The next award goes to Mr. Vivek Kumar Tiwari, Principal, Colonel Satsangi's Kiran Memorial Public School. Congratulations, sir. Vanessa, thank you for doing the honors, and team, thank you for joining us for the awards. With that, we come to the close of the awards ceremony.
सुन तो ले क्या कह रही है.
As we come to the close of today's inspiring event, it is my privilege to extend a heartfelt vote of thanks to all who made it today. Congratulations once again to all the awardees. Thank you to our esteemed panelists on sharing their valuable insights. And once again, a special thank you to all the school leaders, principals, and educators who joined us today. Your unwavering commitment to nurturing young minds and guiding them to achieve their potential is truly inspiring. You are the pillars of education, and we deeply value your participation. In closing, I'd like to thank each and every one, all the team members and the ground staff for helping us out today. And to each and everyone, thank you for making the time to be with us. Together, we're shaping the future of education, and today is just the very beginning. Once again, thank you all, and I wish you all a safe journey and a very good night to each one of you. Thank you.
पागल ये होटल मैनेजमेंट वालों का है. होटल वालों ने आप दिलाई लाइट भाई, हमें क्या पता होटल वाले ये रखो कि यही लाइट. हाँ सीन लगी तो हुई है पहले, अब जो अब उसमें और उसमें पूरे इवेंट समझा नहीं.